It's been a while since I come on live. You know, I know I've been meaning to come on for a little while, but um, I haven't had a chance to. I've just been busy here at the homestead trying to get things done. Let the Most High be praised for yet another day. This is the first day of the week. We had a restful Shabbat. Some interesting, relaxation with the family, chatting with the family. Here on the homestead, here in the mountain, where the land meet the clouds. There's a bit of thunder and an overcast right now, so we may be getting some rain, some well-needed rain, as the leads that will be welcome today. So we thank the Most High for that. And as you see here, I wanted to check in. As the topic says, did we see this coming? Man, oh man, this is just a quick stop in. I won't keep the life too long. But did we see this coming? Living off grid, homestead life, doing business, balancing the act, leaving corporate life, and coming to an environment where you don't have the 9 to 5, but much activities that may keep you beyond 9 to 5, and some activities that you may not even work on 9 to 5, or make less, more than the hours. But did we see this coming? Things that we encounter here on the homestead, things that we encounter about this type of lifestyle, what I've seen on TV, YouTube before, we venture on this lifestyle. A lot of times people don't talk about, a lot of time people don't give you the full details, for lack of a better word, of what it takes to live an off-grid lifestyle and being on a homestead. But the reality of it is, it's a lot of work, and especially for us here who live in a tropical island where we get quite a bit of rainfall where we are. So the vegetation is always growing, and I always have to keep managing the vegetation around the zone one in the homestead here. So it's very, very, very interesting. Things that we might have seen or didn't see coming, things that we may not have known. But it takes a lot of effort to manage a homestead, to get the gardens going and get your still, because still we're still involved in trying to get running our business as well, apart from the homestead. So, being an entrepreneur as well. But the journey has definitely been very interesting. And being that it has been so interesting that we, it's not what I saw on TV, on YouTube, like, what? These guys with their homestead looking all good, already, all complete, all finished, and they seem to be having all ducks in a row. It's almost like, like it's not a Hollywood style when you're doing it yourself. So it's very interesting how things that we have to come to learn. And one thing that I've never seen that was talked about, I've looked at a lot of YouTube people who are living off-grid, homesteading, this type of lifestyle. And one of the things that I haven't seen them mentioned is finances, like, the financial aspect of how do you sustain yourself living this way? What do people do who live a homestead life? Because the fact of the matter is, for people who leave the city and build a homestead, especially on raw land, right, and plant the fruit trees and plant up the vegetable garden, you still need to take care of your daily needs financially. You still need stuff at the grocery store. So what do people do who live off-grid for financial balance? What do they do? What do we do? As I mentioned, we're entrepreneurs, so we operate different businesses, right? So we're involved in different things to bring in income, because just having a homestead alone and trying to build from ground up, we do have to live day by day. We have daily needs, and we wouldn't have enough supplies and resources to be able to supply our daily needs if we were saying we want to depend on only stuff we have on the garden here on the homestead. So one of the things that I never saw, and did we saw coming was, I know we anticipated certain things, obviously, like how are we going to live, how we going to maintain ourselves financially, the family, so that was that was forecast in our mind what we'll do, but more or less you find that I don't see these things really to talk about too much. I know people go and become homesteaders or living off grid and they become YouTubers so they can earn from YouTube. But it takes a time to ramp up to a minimum of 1,000 subscribers to start to monetize your channel. But nonetheless, um, you don't see it being talked about much. What else do people do? I had one brother who um, I've been watching his channel from he started about 4 or 5 years ago when he just bought the raw land and he's trying to build. I think he lives and his family lives somewhere in Idaho in the mountains, way off grid. And he talked about things that he does that people was wondering how does he survive. And he was involved in certain program, right? So he does certain things business differently. But so it's no different from us here. When I see a person living on a homestead, we still have to sustain ourselves financially. We still have to buy our dry goods, we still have to buy our different stuff that we don't make here. Um, so we still have to have some. Where does that money come from? We don't have a YouTube channel where we monetize because the channel that we have here is really just to encourage and to share what we're up to here in the homestead. If it become a time where we are not in a monetization stage with YouTube, because I'm not an active YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber, as a matter of fact. It's really just to share with fellow brethren or sisters or families who are considering such a lifestyle, and we might be a resources, or they might see something that we do on our homestead that they might we might try this. But nonetheless, it is an interesting journey to say the least. What we have experienced and what we what it takes to run a homestead. And getting stuff together, planting the vineyards, planting the vineyards. Go outside. Planting the vineyards and getting stuff done. So there's quite a bit of things. See my son just keep busy, active. So it's really, I know it's as I mentioned, it has been a while since I came online, but I've been having so many things doing and resting on the Shabbat and stuff. But things that we didn't saw coming was, like it's a lot of it takes full circle. It takes all hands on deck to get things moving at home. So it can't be one person. It can't be just the husband or the wife. And not, it has to be husband, wife, and children, or if a child. It has to be everybody putting their hand to get things organized because we depend on each other, right? We depend on each other to make the full circle run. I have my roles, my wife has her roles, my daughter has her role, my son has his role. Sometimes we work all together, sometimes we have to work independently on different things. So we all try to work to get things done. But it's definitely a joyful experience, and definitely an experience that was when we thought about certain things. At least I thought about certain things. Um, it is a lot more than I actually did think about, for lack of a better word, that it takes, especially when you're not. Because for me here, and for us, we are not necessarily homesteaders. We live off grid, but because we're also entrepreneurs, we operate, we run our businesses and stuff. We don't get all the time. We are not fully entrenched every day in just doing homesteading work. So we have to stay as much as possible organized to to make sure that we keep our sanity and make sure we're not getting overwhelmed with so many different things that we have to do. Sometimes I do feel that way sometimes, but I have to stay balanced and meditate and relax because I will have different things, different moving parts. But that's what it is here on the homestead. Things we didn't, you know, didn't things we didn't saw coming was, I mean, when I looked at this land and was deciding to acquire this land, I mean, because we knew we were going off grid. We want to ensure that we have a balance of sunshine to power our home. Want to ensure that we have adequate rainfall to fill our cisterns and our water tanks and stuff. So we had to think about that. So when I came, no, it was a little bit different than how the most I did it. I mean, I think it gave us a little bit more rain than I thought we had needed, and the rain now becomes more of a blessing because I thought I needed more sunshine to power the home, but I actually needed a higher ratio of um, rainfall because water is life, and water I need more water than I need power. So with that balance, I think I will just thank the Most High. Say, thank you, Father, because you'll see more than I see, and my sight is just right here, but you see way beyond yesterday, today, and tomorrow, right? And I could not see some of these things. So giving us more rainfall, more water than the sunshine, it's a blessing because we're using water every day, every time we have to be using water. So that's something that I never saw coming, which is awesome. Um, and this is live, so it's kind of a bit raw. So you might, you know, kids might pop in or something. So that's one thing that I never saw coming. And we still have some more plans to continue to develop the homestead. We still have a lot of work to do. I was looking at today. I need to plant some more fruit trees around where I have some that is, some that germinate, some seeds that germinate and are growing into young plants. So I need to transplant them and put them in the physical soil. And then my daughter was just putting some seeds in again of some other fruit trees, so we can start to get some more seedlings and some plants. Because our intention is to have a lot of food here, a lot of fruits. Let it be a food forest where to help sustain us. And we like tropical fruits. So we want to have the exotic fruits here on the homestead that you might see in an exotic, Caribbean markets, cuisine markets. So it's a deliberate attempt. With the most I have, we hope to achieve these objectives and these feats to plant, because we're continue planting. We have stuff, we're planting, and we do have quite a bit stuff that are already planted, and we'll continue to plant some more. And what you most I do is work, with the soil and its nutrients, so to let it come into fullness of a full tree where we can harvest and eat organically. Because as you have seen my earlier videos, if you have, we are planting organic food. We don't use pesticides, we don't use chemicals, we don't use any of those things on any of our plants or stuff that we have here at the homestead. So even if we go out in the marketplace, the farmer's market or in the grocery store, and we buy something that we don't have control over some of the things that they do on them, right? So we try to create that balance, so whatever we have is without chemical, you know, and so we eat naturally here for what we grow, right? Let the Most High be praised. I don't want to take too long on this one, but probably next time I do a live, I'm able to get my wife inside and just to give her insight on it. So there might be another follow-up to this video, a part two, and get my wife inside on it. Get even from my daughter as well in the video, and to share their side of it as well, of what they didn't see coming, are what they never saw coming to the homestead, leaving the city and come live here on in the country, in the rural, in the mountains, as a matter of fact. So let the Most High be praised, and until the next time, I look and see another vlog about what we didn't, what I didn't see coming, and prayerfully we can get my wife and my daughter viewpoint on that as well. So stay safe and continue moving along, continue seeking the Most High, because we're in tough times right now. So let the Most High be praised, as we continue, I'm able to do live now on my phone as I see. So I may be able to do a walkthrough of the homestead. I'm not sure what's going on around the homestead on a live. So let the Most High be praised until the next video. Stay safe. Shalom.